Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and I have received another rather unexpected and auspicious package. I was sent this by the good folks at Blizzard Entertainment. Now, why is Blizzard Entertainment sending me Nerf blasters, you asked? That's a good question, but I believe it has something to do with Overwatch 2. Now, years ago, Hasbro did a collaboration with Blizzard where they took a bunch of weapons from the game and made them into rival blasters, like the Reaper shotgun, which is basically a reshell of the Takedown. But in that case, they're taking stuff from the game and bringing it into reality as a blaster. For this collaboration, they're taking blasters that Hasbro has made and turning them into skins in the game. This particular one is apparently a skin for a character named Baptiste. I know absolutely nothing about Overwatch. I've never played it. First-person shooters make me motion sick. So, not gonna go down the rabbit hole of the game. If you're into Overwatch, check that out. You might already be aware of this. I have no idea. I'm going to check out the blaster, because that's what I do. So we're going to get this thing out of the box and give it a try. It's proving to be more advanced than I was expecting the more I look at it. So let's get it open. Right, so in the box we have the blaster, stock, barrel, optic, 2 magazines, and a wad of darts. There's also some instructions. Looked through it, didn't see anything terribly surprising or unusual, though this blaster, as I said, has proved to be more advanced than I was expecting. Originally I thought it was going to be a Springer. No, it is a flywheeler. We got that rev trigger, so I was assuming it was going to be a Strife clone, essentially, be semi-automatic. Nope! It is, in fact, select fire. So, looking forward to checking that out. Is it ambidextrous? It is not ambidextrous. But that's actually not too bad. Plus you can use your offhand. Alright, I'm gonna get some batteries in this thing, and we're gonna plink. Okay, so it takes 6 AA batteries, so this is a 9-volt system, which means it might actually have some power. As far as I could find, there are no range claims on the box whatsoever. They make no promise to what kind of performance you're going to get out of this. The big thing they go on about is the modularity, which it has the old N-strike attachment point for both the stock and the barrel, as well as rail, so they haven't abandoned everything from the past. This is, however, an N1 blaster, so it uses the new N1 darts, so it's not backwards compatible with your old magazines, your old darts, but the attachments will still work. They do give you 2 magazines, which is nice, because again, it's not backwards compatible with any of your old magazines. And they give you 48 darts and 2 18-round magazines, which means, if my math is correct, that's 2 2/3 mags worth, which is a really arbitrary number. If they'd gone up to 54, then you would have had 3 mags worth, or they could have dropped it down to 36 and had 2 mags worth, but they went with 48. I don't come up with these things. Alright, I have enough daylight. I'm going to take this to the range and see how that performance works. It actually does seem to have a fairly decent rate of fire on both burst and full auto, which hasn't always been the case with select fire blasters, so let's give it a go. Right. Couple of things that I've learned while loading it. The magazines are slightly more complex than your average magazine. It's got spring-loaded feed lips that you can actually squeeze, and it'll just dump your mag, which I hope you don't accidentally do that. Darts can only go in one way. That's kind of nice. How many times have I loaded a mag the wrong way in my days? Also, the stock holds a magazine and holds it in such a way that you can top it off from the top. That I really like. That is a neat design there. Shame it won't fit any of the old magazines, because I would otherwise paint it and possibly use it on something. I could make a half-dart adapter for it. Half-dart mag adapter. Anyway, to the plinking. Alright, we're gonna start with semi-auto. I'm actually gonna take the barrel off. We're gonna start with semi-auto and see if I can hit anything at all. It's about elite accuracy, maybe a little better. Ugh. Dumping darts. Downside of those spring-loaded feed lips dribbling darts if you take your mag out before it's empty. So don't do that. Let's try burst. Should be a 3-round burst. I got a bottle! Hurrah! I do like that rate of fire. That rate of fire is not bad, especially for stock Nerf. Let's try full auto. See if I can hit anything. Nope. But I got 12 more darts. Actually, I've got 13. One fell out. I'm gonna reload. I'm gonna go back to burst for the last 13. I got 3. That's actually not bad for stock Nerf. Mag release. I don't know how I feel about the mag release. It feels a little flimsy. I do like the form factor. I'm going to talk about that when I get back to the shop. First, let's get you your fips. I know you love your fips. Right, let's get you your fips. 82, 88, 86, 88, 86. So a little above elite average. All right. Let's talk about it. Right, there's a train going by. What are my thoughts? Well, I really like the form factor. It's a nice looking blaster. It's got that sci-fi look about it. The paint job is gorgeous. They did paint both sides. Very nice. The stock doesn't have anything on it, so that makes it a little bit more generic. That's nice. The barrel is painted to match. I don't know how well it would fit on other blasters. I did mention that it appeared to have a standard stock attachment point, which is true. It will work with previous stocks. That is nice, because there's been a lot of different stocks. But the barrel lug is not backwards compatible. It is slightly larger, which is not really surprising because N-series darts are a little larger than the old Elite darts, and they clearly were worried about like barrel drag or it getting caught or jammed in those old style barrels that have that much smaller barrel down the center. So can't use the old barrels, but you can use the old stocks, and the rail attachments should all be compatible. But that's where the compatibility ends. N-series is a whole new dart design, not compatible with old blasters or old magazines. I did mention that this magazine has spring-loaded feed lips, which makes it really easy to load, which is nice because you just push straight down and you don't have to worry about, mucking up your darts but with the feed lips or sliding them in and pushing them down and all of that. It's just push them in. But if something snags your feed lips, it is going to dump your mag on you, which is a little hilarious. And it also seems that if you put a mag in and take it back out before it's empty, it's gonna dump some darts because there's something in here that's opening up that feed lip and letting some darts out, which does mean that they probably feed really smooth because there's none of the friction with the feed lip on the top. But it does mean that if you take your mag out to see how many darts you have left, it's going to be fewer than it should ought to be. And that's kind of an odd design, a bit overcomplication on these. It is just a compression spring, it appears. At first I thought it might actually be a coil spring, but it's not. But overall, I like the overall design, and the select fire was much more impressive than I thought it was. It had a higher rate of fire on burst and full auto than I was expecting from a NERF select fire blaster. Didn't make it ambidextrous. I don't know how much more complicated that would have been, but they didn't. And the mag release feels a little flimsy to me, but not unacceptably so. It's reachable. You can reach it with your finger, so yeah. All in all, I dig it. I think it's a neat concept, taking NERF blasters and porting them into a game instead of the other way around. Apparently there is a Maverick one. One of the characters can have a Maverick that fires N-series, which is strange, but it's an iconic blaster. You can't not do it. So there are my thoughts on the Loadout Galactic Commander from the Overwatch 2 collaboration. If you play the game and you have this, let me know, because that'd be neat. If not, thank you for watching anyway.